Okay. Let's see if we're actually working now. It seems to be... Yeah, we're working. Okay. Alright. So, turns out the issues were because of...
Be careful not to go outside the buoys floating in the water, or you'll get attacked by big choppers.
The issues were because I needed to update my PlayStation, which you think... I'll admit, I haven't used my PlayStation recently. I haven't really found the time, and I've been playing a bit more on my Xbox, because I got a free Game Pass subscription, and I decided to hang on to it. And Ninja Gaiden 2 just got remastered, called Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, so I'm renting that. It's on my Xbox. So that's why... Oh, wait. Oh, son of a bitch. There's a freaking... But you know what? The stream is now functioning. I see. You're never going to be able to make that turn without even falling. Okay. Sugar. Can I just... Yeah, here we go. Let's restart the whole challenge and maybe keep that private conversation not on stream, because that doesn't have to use anyone.
Be careful not to go outside the buoys floating in the water, or you'll get attacked by big choppers.
I suppose it's a fair thing to just make sure to double check before I stream going forward. Make sure that my whatever system I'm streaming on is updated, or whatever I'm using to stream is updated. That way I don't have to... Shit. I knew that would happen, and I still did it. Alright. Little guy's gotta die. That's not that bad. No, we're not trying again. Okay, great. Huh.
I'll help you with the rings, Mr. Sonic. Press the button if you need me. Call on Cream to throw rings to you. There are no other rings here, so take good care of them. The boost gauge can also only be filled using rings. When the boost gauge is empty, call on Cream to throw rings to you.
Shit.
Call on Cream to throw rings to you. There are no other rings here, so take good care of them.
Yeah, I'm aware. You already explained that.
The boost gauge can also only be filled using rings. When the boost gauge is empty, call on Cream to throw rings to you. Mystery Sonic, use this!
Alright. Now we've reached the boss. So, fun fact, I've never beaten Sonic Advance. I've only seen this boss battle in, like, YouTube videos. So I have no idea how this boss battle is supposed to actually play out or look. But considering the fact that...
Use the platforms to close in on perfect chaos. There's nothing you can do from this distance.
we're expected to kind of clown on him in base mode when in Sonic Advance and Super Sonic. I'd imagine that either Sonic is stronger or the Chaos Element is absolutely unnecessary for taking out Chaos. I would imagine that it's just the case that at this point Sonic is not a lot stronger than Dreamcast. This is actually a relatively easy boss battle. Once you know what the hell you're doing, it's just mainly getting over to Chaos. Which actually, that may be why Sonic needed the Chaos Emeralds originally. He probably didn't know how to do his like boost ability until later in life. I know, the timeline for Sonic is weird.
You've brought back so much of the world.
Yay! My name's Frank.
You're doing great, Sonic. You mean you're doing great, Sonicx. Right. I may never get used to that. Ah!
Watch out!
Whoa! Did that emerald just scare off the monster? The Chaos Emerald's powers are miraculous, and we sure could use a miracle. We need that emerald! Sonic, your speed has been able to restore our friends. I bet it can restore the Chaos Emerald to full power, too. And I bet you double we're going to need all 7 emeralds.
You're on.
You guys have your work cut out for you.
An adventure's no fun if it's too easy.
Perfect cows. Alright, so this is the quote-unquote modern era. Hey, check it out! That emerald's the same color as me. Yeah, so by the time of us, technically speaking, up to that point, you can kind of just run through the stories and all the other stuff. You don't even have to get the emeralds until, let's say, after, or like the other rival emeralds up until like later. But it's just fun to kind of, as you're running through all the other stuff, to go grab them. But yeah, so this is, let's see. This is the classic era, aka the Genesis era. This is the 3D era, aka the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast to GameCube, PS4, or PS2 and Xbox OG generation. It gets harder to say. It's just easier to call it the Dreamcast generation, but Sonic Heroes never came out on Sonic or on Dreamcast. Neither did Shadow the Hedgehog. I feel like, I don't know. I would love to see how this game would look like on Dreamcast. That'd be interesting. But now we are in the modern era, which are the games that, or the modern-esque era, I suppose you could refer to it as when this game came out, these were the modern games. Now they are the PS360 Wii era. It's just how I'm going to refer to that, because that, again, that makes more sense. So this is the first level, unfortunately, is Crisis City from Sonic 06. I say unfortunately because, okay, I think it's time that I talked about the contentious relationship I have with this title. I grew up playing Sonic 06 and absolutely loving it. It was my first 360 game. The Christmas... Shit. Fun. Just do that. The Christmas in which we got our Xbox 360, my siblings and I, my brothers both got a 360 game. I think my older brother got a Call of Duty game, and my younger brother got a sports game. And because it was a newer device, and not really knowing, you know, the, at the time, limitations of the device, my parents got me a game that I was very much looking forward to getting. Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. I still love them for getting me that game. That game is solid. However, because it was an original Xbox game, it would not play on the device. Like, I went to go, like, have my turn with 360, and it would say, like, oh, you can't, this isn't the 360 game, blah, blah, blah. My dad had to download the software from Microsoft's website onto a writable disk and install it onto the 360 to basically enable me to play the Star Wars game on it. And that was after we all went through the process of signing up for Xbox Live and everything, all of us setting up our Live accounts. But Sonic 06 was my first through 360 game. And that game was a hot mess. There's been like a... Actually, it is a hot mess. Still. There seems to have been like a wave of like the younger generation like trying to defend Sonic 06. The only thing that you can defend about that game is that because of the Sonic community, they were put into an impossible decision to either disappoint the fans and release the game after the particular anniversary that it was going to coincide with, or release the game as hot garbage and release patches and updates for it later, which was still a new concept, but developers were starting to, at the time, take advantage of that benefit. Now, obviously, the game garnered such a poor reputation and such a bad experience, technologically speaking, in terms of a lot of gameplay aspects, that Sega, after a while, got it to and I use air quotes if I had the hands to do so, a stable, stable-ish state, and then they just abandoned the title altogether. Seriously, there was all this extra content, like being able to play as other characters, like in like all the levels and like special challenges for them. Sega ended up nixing all of that. On Sega's end, the only thing that you can really fault them for, aside from listening to the community, which I'm surprised there are still developers doing that. I know it's very much a double-edged sword, but hedging all your bets on community feedback seems really risky, and Sonic 06 is definitely the one example that makes me concerned for whenever developers say, oh, as we're working on this, we're developing it, we're going to take community feedback into consideration. Like, no, fuck community feedback. You can't trust a community. The last time a developer trusted a community before the game even launched, we got Sonic 06. Ubisoft can't survive a Sonic 06 situation. Alright? That's entirely the situation, but the game, you can defend Sega with they were put into an impossible situation for an overly ambitious project. How they handled it when the cards that they were dealt, that's where you have to start to actually say, no, you made this bed, you left a lie in it. But then there's been a lot of like recent disdain Actually, not even recent. It's been just for years, constant disdain for this game. And as I've grown older and actually listened to these opinions, they're absolutely right. This game, released in such a poor state, poor condition, that it actually lowered the value of Sonic's IP. The only thing that hurt, in the years to follow, the only thing that hurt Sonic more was Sonic Boom Rise of the SonicxShadow. Yes, please. The only thing that hurt it more, aside from the initial reveal trailer of the Sonic movie, which, by the way, designing that closed the studio. Like, it bankrupted the studio. But the only other thing, again, Sonic Boom Rise of the Sonic Spin had pretty middling or high, and when it's high, people get excited. When it's middling, people are just accepting. Because we haven't had anything truly... Sonic Forces, I feel like... Sonic Forces was not a good comeback for Sonic following their Nintendo exclusive. And yet somehow, it didn't hurt. I feel like it didn't hurt the franchise as much as Sonic Boom. The only good thing that come out of Sonic Boom was the Cartoon Network. Which I feel like was the only thing that really helped to salvage Sonic's name following the episode. By no means was Sonic Forces a bad game. It was very much bland and very safe, even though it wanted to kind of do this new sort of risky. It was an ambitious concept that Sega said, we need to not rock the boat on this. We're just gonna make a by the numbers, you know. And I ultimately feel like the worst possible thing that Sega could have done is try to... Sega is definitely trying, and they've had a lot of doubles with the Sonic IP. I feel like the Sonic Prime TV show, that was definitely good. The Sonic movies have been immaculate. SonicxShadow Generations has been amazing. Sonic Frontiers was also amazing. There have been, like, some people are like saying, oh, you know, it's not that great. I honestly feel it's amazing. Could it have been better? Oh, absolutely. But I feel like we're starting to get into a sort of Sonic renaissance that we haven't really seen since the, that we honestly haven't seen since the Dreamcast days, where it's basically just been a ton of, like, W's for Sonic. Like, you know, that Dreamcast, even that transitional period. Just banger, 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 you know?
As much as I dislike relying on others, I'm grateful for your aid. The creature was beyond my skills.
Yeah, this one's tough.
but I mean, again, I feel like if we're talking like Sonic Renaissances, the Genesis days were definitely the start. So I can't really call that a renaissance. I feel like the first big renaissance was Sonic Adventure up to Shadow the Hedgehog, where Shadow the Hedgehog it definitely deviated too much. But it was still a really good game. Oh, I love this level so much. Totally forgot to switch over to Classic Sonic, but you know what? We can do it. This level just screams 3D, you know? We got close to another Sonic Renaissance post-Sonic 06. Where there are definitely a lot of good bangers across that period, you know, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, and even with the stuff that, like, you know, was kind of middling, like the storybook stuff, which I'm very much a fan of. But I know it's not to everyone's appeal. There was still something Sonic for everyone, and you couldn't really say, you know, Sonic was struggling. Because at the end of the day, Sonic was still doing nothing. Even if they were still trying to find their identity in the definitely Sonic Boom is where what could have been a renaissance for the series ended. Sonic Lost World, which I got in a Humble Bundle and have been trying out, I can't call that part of the Sonic Renaissance, because as unique and creative as it is, it's definitely, it's more of a platform. It doesn't feel like a Sonic game. The attempt at speed is just not there because of all the platforms. A good Sonic game will know to balance the platforming with the speed, you know? And I definitely feel like is where Sonic Unleashed succeeded. Because while the platforming levels were part of like hack and slash levels, the platforming in the speed-based levels were definitely solid enough that you could still platform and then just run out, clock in at ridiculous speed, you know? And I don't want to play Sonic Unleashed, but definitely when Sony struck a exclusivity deal with Nintendo for the games released on Nintendo systems only for a few years, that definitely when the Renaissance started to waver and then ended with Sonic Boom. The TV show did a lot to regain faith in the IP, but the damage, Sonic Boom came and did damage. Now, honestly, it's not even remembered. Like, fondly because of the game, is remembered because, despite everything, they actually made an awesome cartoon for Sonic. You know? How long have I been streaming for? Oh, only a half hour. It feels like longer because I had freaking system issues. And then unfortunately, when we came back from the failure that was the Wii U exclusivity, Sonic Forces did not do much to actually warrant any goodwill. Again, solid game. That was boring. It was very much by the numbers. It struggled to do a lot right, and ultimately, it just felt like Sonic Generations was trying to overstay it. Plus, it just kind of became a meme in and of itself for a OC generator. It had good ideas. It's definitely not well. From there, though, you could definitely tell Sega's been trying to do right by the IP. And Sonic's had a lot of good stuff come out. Definitely, I feel like the start of this new Sonic Renaissance came with, I want to say, the movie, when we actually got the redesign. Despite the damage it did, the Sonic movie was definitely the first of this new Sonic Renaissance, with Frontiers and Sonic 2 carrying that, and then all the additional content, the Prime TV, Sonic Prime TV show. Sonic, and then the Year of Shadow. The very quirky murder mystery game I haven't played yet. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic has been doing surprisingly well, and I honestly, again, I feel like we're in a Sonic Renaissance. I feel like I'm very excited to say, I'm happy to say I am a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and I can't wait to see what this franchise is going to do next. I hope that they look into, if they're going to continue the open world Breath of the Wild gameplay, I hope that they refine it, to help kind of give it its own identity aside from Sonic Breath of the Wild, Because despite it being heavily inspired by the Zelda game, that was solid. And yes, there have been some problems with releasing Sonic Colors Ultimate. But honestly, that's in a much better state than it was. And that's kind of where I feel like Sega needs to. They can't repeat the sin of the past. They cannot, if there's an issue with a game, first of all, they need to make sure that the quality assurance for Sonic games is at the same level as Ryuga Kotaku Studios, the Yakuza games. I haven't played any of the Yakuza games at launch, but those games, I've never heard or seen any issues. Their quality assurance definitely needs to be on Yakuza level. Actually, no, that's not true. I haven't played one at launch. I think near launch I played Like a Dragon Ishin. But honestly, that was a PS3 PS3 that just got ported over to PS3, PS4 game that got ported over to PS4 and 5. But still, you never really hear about major issues with the Yakuza games, They're generally the Like a Dragon games, the Yakuza, they tend to release them really well, you know, Judgment and all that. I've never really heard anyone say, like, or anyone report, like, oh, Yakuza 2. The only one I, like, really know about is Yakuza of the Dead. But I feel like one could forgive that.
There's the entrance to the blimp. Jump inside.
As most of the complaints about that were towards the shooting mechanics of the game, where they tried to, like, instead of having, like, an E button, because I feel like if you were to remake Yakuza of the Dead, I feel like you could do it a lot better. Like, you definitely need to change the controls around, but there's a fair amount of buttons that don't get used in the Yakuza games, and I feel like Yakuza of the Dead could potentially
Thanks, Sonic. You know, I got a hunch someone or something is controlling that monster.
I love how he's just like, oh, he's miming, like, well, I got it. It doesn't matter, now what happened? Anyway. Last of the levels! Yay! Planet Wisp. Like, I feel like if, you know, the Yakuza developers could properly utilize like the full controller for the game, I feel like they could make a shooter, you know? But I don't know, Yakuza of the Dead is one of those, like, game relics of the everything needs to be zombies. So. And I'm pretty sure, unlike Ishimi, which, you know, where they could definitely work it into the just general overall branding, I don't think, and like positivity, because that game did sell well enough to warrant a re-release to try and boost it, but definitely I can see, I'm pretty sure, like they said, we're never gonna try anything like Yakuza of the Dead. We're never gonna remake that game, which sucks because the game is like $100. I honestly, again, I feel like if they were to do a remake, they could have. They just need to understand that you have to, first off, when you're designing a game with shooting mechanics, you have to consider that shooting mechanics have a common like at this point, all shooter games have some kind of like understanding that across the board, hitting a trigger will fire, will fire, and then holding aim function will holding another typical aim to platform on the side is fine. As long as they hold to that mold, which I'm sure they wouldn't want to, but they definitely don't seem like a mold kind of studio. But if they hold to that mold, I feel like they can create a pretty you know, or at the very least, make a version of that game that isn't like critically panned and actually says, okay, you know what, I see what you were going for here. It's a zombie, it's a nice quirky zombie game. You know? It's not Dead Rising, but definitely I never thought I'd see, you know, Yakuza. But that's the only game that I know of from the Yakuza genre that absolutely like failed all through. The only other, again, the only one I really know of, the only other one that I know didn't meet like expectations for the studio and Sega was the original Ishin, but that got another chance. I feel like if not just to save me $100 or, you know, like $50-ish dollars, I feel like that game should have another chance. But anyway, Sonic Colors, weirdly enough, one of the best 3D sounds. But again, Sonic Colors Ultimate, in all honesty, the only glitch I had with that game was that the game, like, for whatever reason, like, had a catastrophic failure and erased my save data. So I had to start all over again. But that was the only issue I had. Like, people who were playing it early were showing, like, massive, like, technological glitches. I didn't get that, but honestly, I feel like I have weirdly good luck when it comes to games. In, like, the condition they release in, versus the condition that like, my play goes through. Like, I was watching, we're gonna go back to Sonic 6 for a second. I was watching Lythero, the Irish man, the Irish streamer who plays Shadow the Hedgehog and basically portraying Shadow as a schizophrenic lunatic, depending on how much money he's getting. Bipolar? I like Lythero. I enjoy it. He does more. He also does fighter stuff. If you've ever seen the Eggman developed iPhone versus Frieza video, that was from a Lythero stream. He also, the big thing about his videos is that he will pay animators to animate segments for a particular comic. So you have like a video showcasing from the stream of like Dragon Ball showing or from Dragon Ball Fighter showcasing a mod, like having the modded where it's like Rouge fighting Goku Black, who is actually black. Which is the mods that somebody put together. Honestly, it feels very self-explanatory as far as mods go, but down the level. Holy shit, for 7 minutes. And just having just like the idiotic hilarity coming from that, but Honestly, I have no idea how I got into the top. How did I forget how we got into the top of the life arrow? I don't. I do like his content. Talking about the Yakuza games and how I feel like Undead should give it another chance. You know what? I have no idea where I was going with that. I apologize. Train of thought. Anyway. Shit. Oh, it's a moving platform of doom. Anyway, I am looking forward to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know the game got delayed twice, but luckily it wasn't because of community feedback. It was, we really need to make sure that this, we're not having a good time right now. We really need to make sure this game is like the best it could possibly be for Reach, you know? I feel like the only community feedback they had was nobody liked the new pricing model stuff they're trying to push. They definitely went back on that. But that's coming out in March. So again, I'm looking forward to that. I was playing on my Steam, I was playing the original version of this game on my Steam Deck, and I managed to get like a 7 like thing, and I got like an achievement for it. Like, oh boy! Boy dinner! Still fucking sick. Again, going back to Life Arrow, I was playing Shadow, and for whatever reason, Eggman was drinking gasoline, and then Sonic's like, yum! Boy dinner! Or not actually Sonic, the, one of the guys who was on here. Because one of the things that we've also voiced characters. No! Like the characters in the game, like even like Shadow voice. He definitely makes it way more engaging than just playing a game. I do appreciate it. If I had the money, I would definitely commission an artist to do that, because it's never the same artist, or sometimes it's the same artist, but generally, he's not the one doing those animations. His wife and stuff. But he is generally paying, like, Dubis Ubis, Dai Tamadachi, Devil Artemis, Red Minus. He commissioned that. Was like, hey, you know, could you animate like a scene from this? You know, like, okay, would you actually animate it? I don't actually know how it works. I imagine it's like go ahead and pick which one you want to do, but no, it's still available. Animator picked it. Definitely, I do. I feel like a lot of people appreciate it. It's definitely a more unique way to do stories. Definitely, it's a lot of anime, a lot of editing and animation. More than just what I do, which is upload to YouTube. That's done. So I've been reading the new Spider-Man event series, The 8 Deaths of Spider-Man. Oh shit. I'm trying with an Eggman OSHA operator. Fuck. It's like, that's Sonic? Holy shit, that's Sonic, isn't it? Like, hey, what's up? It's like, can I help you? Like, no! It's just, the guy. Sonic. That's what you get. It's just OSHA, man. That's what you get for being OSHA. Shit, shit, shit. What the shit, Nickelback? Thank you! I screwed up once, and suddenly I was like, now you're gonna spend the next 30 minutes trying to make up. We're good! A big B for bravado. Ah, look at little drum guy. I have a gift for you. It's made of a drum.
Dude, there's the emerald. Pretty slick move, huh?
Oh no! I can never look at Charmy B the same again.
I was scared because somebody took me, but now I'm free. I'm a free bee. Free bee. Free bee. Whee!
All right, just simmer down, buddy.
Oh, hey!
All right. I think I don't know if you heard what someone just hollered up to me, but I was thinking this is probably a good stopping point. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry that we had stream issues, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day.